สวัสดีครับ Hello. Let me introduce myself. I am Sangdao ใจคำลือ I am a pupil learning at grade 5 at เทศบาล1สถาบร School บางบึง Sub-District บางบึง District Chonburi Province. Here on this podium, I am making my speech about ASEAN. At first, we must know the meaning of the word ASEAN. It is shortened from Association of Southeast Asian Nations. But how many nations are there? There have been 10 altogether. The five founders were Thailand, Indonesia, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Singapore. After Bangkok Declaration on August 8, 1967, there were then the other five to join. There were Brunei, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, and the last member, Cambodia. As we know well, human fights has been needed for something. The province of birth is first to fight. Struggle for life is the next. We wish to retire from the fight when we are three-legged. Walking sticks make us feel such like. But these things are for mankind. But a man lives in an area called country. And more important, people in a country fight each other for life. Social and economic, as it is called, politic. In my mind, when we think of politic phrase, conflict of interest, it's more to consider. We like staying peacefully in a home, but normally have a quarrel in our neighbors. We like trading each other to make only little money, but to be tycoon to make more money. I need to trade countrywide or worldwide. What do we call this? It is relationship, right? Personal relationship is well known amongst people in a country. In contrary, international relationship is least known among them, especially international trade. About this, the answer is to get ready. We must start firstly early age in school. In the past, Thailand is the first rice exporter in the world, but now the first may be Vietnam or India. What is the cause? It may be our conflict type politic and it may competition among all the two countries, Thailand and Vietnam. As we know well, Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar, Laos, and Cambodia, our Southeast Asian nations are full of paddy fields. These countries are aiming at increased rice exporter, but at different price. Competition makes us weak. Power of price bargaining is to be unity. Rice trade is at the same high value. I don't want to discuss about the interests of people gains in this speech. Our nation gains first and the people regains after that. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. But now the west has happened EU community and EU dollar. However, if the things must happen, it must happen. So the East must follow the West and go ahead such the same unity and unification. I could expect to see newly real currency, SEA dollar. Our 10 nations may introduce white rice exporter to consume among us, with the same lower price but export at the same higher proper value. Apart from this inter-travel in the tents without any visa issue is more convenient because our SEA dollar no currency exchange has made. We little unified nation may have our own technology to fight against unknown newly harmful virus that is advisor than the West. War is all around us. The Cold War between democracy and communists was ended, but nowadays economic war between the West and the East has been being alive. I think it could not be ended during my lifespan, although we want peace. It is like a businessman always say, business is business. It is unable to stop. Now and therefore, making ASEAN great advance with unity is needed. Don't remember, the dream shall become true in the year 2016. Thank you. ขอบคุณครับ สวัสดีครับ Hello, let me introduce myself. I am Sangdao ใจคำลือ I am a pupil studying in grade 8 at เทศบาล1สถาบัน School บ้านบึง Sub-District บ้านบึง District Chonburi Province. Yesterday, I visited my friend's home and saw her 5-year-old younger sister coloring different flags with paint pencils. I asked her what 11 flags were. Fluently, she explained the first is ASEAN and the tenth were its 10 members. Yeah, here on this podium, you know I am making my speech about ASEAN. And first, we must know the meaning of the word ASEAN. It is shortened for Association of Southeast Asian Nations. But how many nations are there? There have been 10 altogether. The 5 founders were Thailand, Indonesia, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Singapore. The Bangkok Declaration on August 8, 1967, there were 10 and other 5 to join. There were Brunei, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, and the last member, Cambodia. As we know well, human fights for some needed thing. District of birth is the first to fight. Struggle for life is the next. We wish to retire from the fight when we're 3-legged. Walking stick makes us feel such like we're these things are for humankind, but a man in an area called country. And more important, people in a country fight each other for life, social and economic, as it is called politics. In my mind, when we think of politics, a phrase conflict of interest is more to consider. We like staying peacefully in a home, but normally have quarrel with our neighbor. We like trading each other, but making only little money. To be tycoon is to make more money. I mean to trade countrywide or worldwide. What do we call about this? It is relationship, right? Personal relationship is well known as among people in a country. In contrary, international relationship is least known among them, especially international trade. How could the country make it grassroots people know about this? The answer is ready to be answered. We must start firstly at early age in school. International relationship, however, comes after internal relationship. Relationship within one's family, then among people in that country, and at last goes ahead internationally. A leader of a family must think at first start to building his family. That's self-sufficiency. Among his family members is most important. Later, things left should share to his neighbor, and lastly left should be goods to make money. This could make family stable. Family supports family, could make his nation more stable, then progress in international relationship. In the past, Thailand is the first rice exporter of the world, but now the first may be Vietnam or India. What is the cause? It may be our conflict, Thai politics, or it may be competition among all 2 countries, Thailand and Vietnam. As we know well, Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar, Laos, and Cambodia, our Southeast Asian nations are full of paddy fields. These countries are aiming at increased rice export, but at different price competition makes us weak. Power of rice bargaining is to be unity, and mean rice trade is the same high value. But it does not matter to be the first or the second white rice exporter. It is important to retain our country's self-sufficiency. It is hard to imagine to lose face in case without country will be white rice exporter. I don't want to discuss about interest the people gains in this speech. Our nation gains first and people regains after that. Sun rises in the east and sets in the west. But now West had happened EU community and EU dollar. However, if things must happen, it must be happening. So the East must follow the West and go ahead such a same unity and unification. I could expect to see a newly real currency, SEA dollar. Our 10 nations may produce rice exported to consume among us with same lower price, but export at the same higher proper value. Apart from this inter-travel intents without any visa issue, there is more convenient because our SEA dollar. No currency exchange had made. We little unified nations may have known our technology to fight against unknownly newly harmful virus that is advisor in our West. War is all around us. The Cold War between democracy and communists was ended, but nowadays economic war between the West and the East has been alive. I think that I think it could not be ended during my lifespan, although we want. Thank you. ขอบคุณครับ